Okay, so let's do Leo. Leo, stamp here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that will be the sixth sign. Then can we do a little bit of doors? What? Nobody's talking? Is everybody asleep? Come on, wakey wakey. Guys, every single sign, for those of you who are here, can bring some messages for you as well. So keep that in mind. So we have Leo. Leo. The bottom card that you have, ouch, is Five of Pentacles. You kind of like feel a little bit displaced. You feel, you're questioning things. Five of Pentacles is really a weird card. Like, first of all, it's pentacles. It's not cups. It's not really emotionally feeling devastated. Maybe it's going to be some kind of investment that will go down. Maybe people who you thought would be your rock are all of a sudden not there for you, not even bothering. You know how sometimes you have a friend and one person is always easygoing, another person is always getting their way, and here it really shows, well, somebody else is kind of like doing it. Except what we see here in this card, we see the cups, right? We see, well, this is a cup, almost looks like it, but there's a cup here, there's a pentacle, wand, and sword. So they're all elements, but all of that has to kind of like have a higher purpose. So there is like, something good in this card. It's kind of like possible that Leo's two of us against the world, that is really important, kind of like a thing to happen. And still, to me, there is a barrier of some sort, and barrier is in the eyes of the society. There's like something that has been going on over here that it's not necessarily, let's say, what church would approve. It's not, doesn't mean it's amoral or immoral. It just simply means that this is like something that you expected from yourself, but somehow you found yourself on the outside. So it's always kind of like sometimes is interpreted being left out in the cold. So let's see what is this all about. But you also have Ace of Swords. So whatever it is, it's working on your behalf. Sometimes, God steps in. You know what they say, rejection is God's protection. And you are protected from this person, even though you want it. We have been all there, right? So Ace of Swords is like that victory. Like you're going to feel that something is really, really working for you. Man, like, isn't this the same combination? Like, and you did see that I kind of like put them differently. So this is exactly the same that we just had for Gemini. So there is like somebody who felt or who feels that they have this position over you, that they kind of like won, and yet you are the one who won, and you didn't go forward rubbing it in their face or something, because to you that was not about the winning. But somehow I feel somebody might come to your life and kind of like position themselves as if somehow they can just waltz into your life and create the same situation, which I think they're going to find themselves very, very surprised, right? As that might not really, really work for you here as well, right? So, and this kind of like also repeats. Oh my goodness. Again, somebody from the past. There is like a little past thing over here, and I see here Sagittarius, I see here Scorpio of some sort, kind of like reappearing, and it could be even two different people, and one is kind of like coming across a little bit kind of like too domineering, while other ones can come across as kind of like romantic and kind of like doing some kind of like really nice protection, right? So that's really interesting over here. This is also repeat. Holy moly. Like, do you know, like, kind of like in combinatorics, how difficult would be to kind of have this happening, just in a little bit different order. Maybe you feel that you have been betrayed. Maybe you betrayed. Maybe you feel that it was some kind of like nagging quality, or maybe you even felt that, like, I mean, you are falling into that kind of like hole, that kind of like you are going in that direction of this energy. Again, you have sevens. It's something very spiritual. So, which means you have been really oriented toward doing things that you feel, are in kind of like encouraging flow of energy, removing stagnation. And because of these three, like, there are actually three different energies here, right? You have very strong swords, meaning you have been thinking a lot about things that have happened, how things maybe slip from your fingers, because after all, the kitty is sleeping, and like there is a party going on over here. So when the party kind of like, when the kitty opens its eyes, the cheese might be completely gone, right? And then you have like Nine of Pentacles, and you've been through this situation where you felt a loss of some sort. You felt that something has had to be given to you, right? It's kind of interesting because there are two different partners. One almost like feels like, was I asleep at the switch? Where the other one is like just in the face, and you're like wondering what the hell is going on over here, right? And there is like, again, this comfort. It looks like we are all kind of like little pea in a pod this entire month. Like, I mean, all signs have the same thing, I guess, with the exception, of course, Gemini and Sagittarius. They're going to be more active. But look at this. Like, there is like this comfort zone. They're calling this like, I mean, a wish. They're calling things are actually really moving out. You have been in a phase. And that's why this grand opening was, you're moving in a new direction. Like, things are not going to be the way that they are. Like, you're renegotiating new situation, even though the past or some kind of emotional history is still affecting you. And be prepared that you have to deal with somebody else's requests or demands, rather to say, and see what happens. You have the Hermit showing up. So this means either you'll have possibly Virgo or possibly Aquarius showing up over there. This might be connecting. Like, it's again the energies of nines. It's feeling content, feeling like almost like you want to meditate the whole life. Like you'll say, just from now on, that's what I do. Of course, his monthly reading, those energies are changing all the time. But like right now, that's what you feel. Oh, that's what I want. I also feel, and I don't know why, that some people might want to go to monastery or temple, literally kind of like finding something out that is like, remember like what I told you, this is almost like a moralistic card of what society prescribes, not necessarily what is right or wrong. For example, like, I mean, in our society, brothers and sisters do not have sex together, nor they can marry, right? In dog's world, that's a go kind of a thing. So I'm not saying go and jump your brother, not at all. But what I'm saying is like kind of like this is really debatable ethics and morality, right? So as you probably know from high school. So this really tells me you're doing some kind of like stuff, you're doing yoga, you're doing meditation, you're kind of like really progressing on that level. And it's kind of really interesting because it's almost like you're filling all these cups, all of these cups are full, and now the energy is possibly creating something new happening in your life, and this is going to be freaking awesome. Full moon is in Libra on the 28th, and in Libra means partnerships, it means harmony. As I said, it's kind of like opposing Venus and Aries because it's the opposite of Libra, that can cause friction. So again, don't fall in the same trap, trying to maintain that friendship, trying to maintain this harmony, because of which that's what Libra does. And there is also that debate between being left alone and going in a new direction. So this is really a good possibility of actually going in a relationship if this is what you want. This can mean getting a new job. This can mean getting along, signing a partnership, having some kind of joint venture, very, very strong coexisting of some sort. Your environment is the Chariot. Somebody might be coming toward you, somebody who is single, so which is good. Chariot doesn't necessarily have a staying power. Their goal is to go and get to the goal. But in this situation, you are their goal. And this is, interestingly enough, it's also connecting to the moon, right? So we have the new moon on March 13th, And then we have a full moon, which is in Libra, like on March 28th. So keep this in mind that somebody might be coming toward you and saying, you know, I want to be single and whatnot, but they're going to find you irresistible. And kind of like that's really interesting energy. We will see. Let me actually check it now. What card comes through? Because that's usually linking these two categories. Romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. The only kind of like reservation I have over here is like because you feel so comfortable in your kind of like solo energy, and then you change your mind and this person might be just coming and going. That's kind of like where it is, but it doesn't have to be this way. Because this is somebody from the past as well that's coming through. And look at this, like another 7. Very, very spiritual, which means also that maybe you're connecting somebody on the level of religion, but both of you are questioning certain tenements over there as well. Hopes and fears is 2 of Wands. So you are wondering if this is going anywhere or this is not going anywhere. You're wondering how to deal with that. What is workable in the situation, right? And then you have like the 6 of Wands reversed as kind of like to seal kind of like this reading. And 6 of Wands is the victory as well. Just like you started, you're finishing. I think this was like for Aquarius as well. That kind of like we had this energy as well. It's really interesting because it's connecting also to some kind of like debate. I think in the end, things are just going to fall into their place the way they're supposed to be. Because 6 of Wands is still a victory. The only difference is like it's not this big build-up, anticipation, but that you like that kind of like thing, and then it's a big event. So instead, it happens, and you almost like you might not even realize that it happened because it happened. It didn't have all this fanfare, it didn't have all of that music and drama and stuff with it. It just happened differently, which basically you will understand this is this new kind of like level of how you deal with things, that you don't have to really give yourself entirely in and have all this power for things to happen. So that's really, really important. So let's do the doors, and I don't know if we should, oh, let me just do this. I guess we can